Get out of my way. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in Week 2. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's now in his 11th season in the league, Matthew Stafford at 31 years of age.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
It's a quick turnaround right out of the gate because there's a lot to cover in a short period of time. But the best teams, they simplify before they go play that Thursday night game. And they also believe it's way better to get your Thursday night game out of the way early before the body has been through too much. So if you ask people on scheduling, they want to play it early, not late.
9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Terrence Mitchell right there on the coverage. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. They'll be led out by their second-year quarterback, leading rusher amongst QBs in 2018, Lamar Jackson.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was Week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in Week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Here we go. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Leonard Fournette. Fournette is in trouble, and he goes down to the end zone. 2 points. That's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. He'll return it from the 6.
Come on, baby, let's go. Good shot. Let's go.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Michael Kendricks is an inside linebacker who can roam sideline to sideline and make plays.
Watch the pass.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, he'll buy some time right. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stafford. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Here are your defensive starters for the Panthers. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, You can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Stafford. Pitch and catch complete to Hireman. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for. Not
at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And an alley to run. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. After the interception, here's Stafford. Complete to Wright. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Stafford. This is caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
This is caught. Watkins. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. Here's Watkins on the jet sweep. And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They may want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here we go, G. Get up.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Carlson is good. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw, sliding out of the pocket. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield, and he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Here we go, G. Come on now.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Henry out of the pistol. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. A quick throw going to be caught by Hamilton. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And now Adam Vinatieri. He's into his 40s now. You'd think low to mid-50s, probably about the outside of his range. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
Let's go, let's go. Get away, D. Get away, D. Stop right there.
On first down, Stafford here. And his throw here's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch. Looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. The Panthers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Jackson now. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Derrick Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Rashawn Melvin that time able to make the play. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Fournette running out of the gun. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford. Hard throw, incomplete. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Jackson now off the bootleg. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They keep it with Henry on first down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Rolling to his right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
And he's made the most of it to this point. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Jeff Hireman, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again. Stafford firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll run with Fournette. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Ryan Allen now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing is Jackson. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So we have reached halftime here in a tight two-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment, but first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the New Orleans Saints. And finally, on Monday Night Football, Mayfield versus Darnold, round 2, the Browns and Jets from MetLife Stadium. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone, and he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Panthers set to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they got the victory last week against the Rams, so some good momentum as they come up 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. They'll roll him out right, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the counter, here's Williams. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Jackson from the shotgun. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He's going to float this one deep right side, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Here we go. Here we go.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Henry. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Lamar Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the 1st down in the process.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Play action. Stafford. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. Complete to right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stafford. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one a first down pickup of 8. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Carlson able to put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Jordan Hicks. That's a gain of 3.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Carolina. This is taken at the 15. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They were losers last time out to the 49ers, but right now they're on the right side of the scoreboard as they start out 1st and 10.
Set. You waiting?
trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Fournette. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded just inside the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 8. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Henry. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Jackson now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 now. Jackson, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, and en route, going into a little bit of traffic, maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Here's Ryan Allen now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Jackson, option right. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
And the busy night for Henry continues. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They go play action now. Jackson, he's got this complete to Hamilton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Jackson, options out left. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. It's complete to Williams. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Vinatieri's kick is good, and you can bump the lead up to 9. It's 15-6. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by 9. A minute 56 to go. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Now Stafford. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Stafford. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now it's Stafford. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
The previous play is under review.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Funchess has it complete. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Throwing now is Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what I think
that factored in.
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Wright's got it. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. Well, it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Panthers, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.